Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the European Racing Series Grand Prix here in Italy. I'm Ben Rwaggy McConnell, and joining me is the supremely handsome, and apparently I'm told, I mean you can confirm or deny it later, but apparently you can bench press Porsches. It's David Fossetti Time Tate. How you doing?
That is fake news.
I disagree. I've seen it with my
The
own
handsome
eyes.
part. I can bench two Porsches.
Oh, in one hand or
What? Sorry.
with one hand?
No, not one hand. I could do one with one hand, but it has to be a proper bench press for me to be able to do two.
Yeah, okay, I feel you. All right, I mean, fine, I'll take that. But you know what? We're in Monza, so forget all about Porsches because this is the Ferrari land. This is where everybody wants to see Ferrari do well. Even Ferrari want to see Ferrari do well. But driving those two Ferraris today are Rwaggy and Dennis, who traditionally have not done a particularly great job of driving those Ferraris very well.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It's not a track that requires a whole lot of downforce and a whole lot of sort of mechanical grip. So people that usually rely on super really good setups for tyre wear are not going to have as much of an advantage this week, I feel. So it is going to be all to do with the driver and not to do with how you set up the car. So we might see a bit of a shake-up.
Yeah, without doubt. Okay, well, Luca is the first one out, and he looks like he's actually got his issues that he had last week fixed. As I'm watching him doing his outlap, and he doesn't seem to have any sort of network or game-related problems at all. He's going pretty nicely around. We do need to do a hot lap rundown. I'm conscious we didn't do one last week, so we need to make sure we do one this week. Do you have a particular driver you want to go with?
You're asking me to do it, are you?
Oh, I'm not about it. Just who do we go with?
Who do we go with? Who is first? Let's go track.
Also, who's SMM Seb? Is that just Seb? I do remember a Seb, but the dollar sign is throwing me off now.
That's Seb, so it's fine. He's not
new or
anything. Yeah, let's go Luca, he's about to start.
Do you want to take the glory?
Sure, why not? So, coming out of Parabolica, doesn't go that wide on the exit. We've got yellow flag in sector 3, that's just people slowing up to get themselves some space. 210, 200 and probably 13 before we hit that braking zone. He even gets to 1,400 meters, slamming on those brakes, locking up a bit, taking so much curb in the first part of the Variante della Roggia. Sorry, Variante Alta. Into Curva Grande, which is obviously flat. It has been for about 30 years. And psych yourself up, wait for that curb to appear, and then put it in. Get that sausage head, kick you around, don't touch the gravel on the exit, into Lesmo 1. Brake as late as you can. He's slightly missed the apex there, but he's carried enough speed into Lesmo 2. Brake at the 50, throw it in, as much curb as you dare on that exit. Now down into Ascari, underneath the tunnel, reaching again 210 miles per hour. Flick it in, don't take too much curb on that inside. That's absolutely perfect from Luca. In and out again. Up again now to 200, maybe even 210 into the Parabolica, and that is it. That was the quickest one I think I've ever done.
It's a very quick lap, isn't it?
It's going to be a super lap as well, actually. I think we're looking at 117, maybe 118.
118.
Low, very low 118. 118.3.
Yeah, that's fast.
Super lap.
That is very fast.
He left a little bit of time there. I think he could have gone quicker through the Lesmos, but yeah, Kagan miles away.
Yeah. Rwaggy 118.9, Dennis 119.4. So times are coming in, but they're not quite quick enough. Embassy, the next closest. Rainbow then knocks it much closer, 118.4, and then Vexit. He's actually somebody. We haven't done predictions yet. I think we probably need to do it soon before more people get their times in. But Vex is somebody who I'm not actually expecting to do particularly well on this track. This is...
Okay.
It's not a bad track. It's not hard to be good at, but it's one of those where this race is going to be really tight when it comes to the qualifying positions. I'm looking at the likes of Bottas going to do well here. Luca looks like he's nailed it, and I don't want to rule him out at all. I don't know which order I'd put them in, though. Maybe I think Rainbow then. So Luca, Bottas, Kang, Rainbow. That's how I see it. 1, 2, 3.
Tough. I did actually hear Brownie. I overheard him earlier saying he can do 17s.
Yeah.
So I
dare you.
I don't know.
I dare you.
You dare me.
I double
Okay.
dare you.
So I'm not gonna go with P1. I will go. Despite that.
Confidence went in the bin there, didn't it?
Yep. You know what? Luca P1. He set the strongest early pace. Bottas gang P2. Sorry, Rainbow P2 and Bottas gang P3.
So we've gone for the same 3. Wait, did you say you're not putting Brownie in there at all?
No.
Oh.
Despite what I threw you off there, didn't I? Completely.
You did. I thought you said Brownie's P2, but then I realized actually, wait, you just said the exact same 3 I did, just in a different order. So I said Luca, Bottas gang, Rainbow. You said Luca, Rainbow, Bottas gang, right?
Yep.
So I think we've pretty much nailed it, realistically. I think we're both... Oh, hazard. Is causing a hazard, actually, currently. Looks like he came out of a scar. He didn't quite get the exit he needed. He's got to be careful, though, because if he goes too far in the wrong direction, he will find himself disqualified. Got to wait for that McLaren to come through before he gets going. There it is.
118.
Yeah, a quick boy.
Can't say I'm surprised. He is quick when he wants to be. He's come off the boil the last few races, but he had a really strong start to the season.
I think he's quick, more specifically in the qualifying. He seems to be rapid in the qualifying. And then when it comes to the race, he's still fast, don't get me wrong. But it's where his inconsistency starts to show. He gets a lot of penalties. He finds himself in a lot of, the tyres overheat because he's gone for such a time trial heavy sort of setup. And yeah, I mean, the margin in this game between a time trial setup and a full race setup is not quite as bad as it was in previous titles, but it still exists. And he's still going to weigh tyres away. And we're going to see him have issues, I think, in the actual race itself. But Copy's going around currently. He's the first of the 2 McLarens to get a time on, and he's had a purple Sector 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's anyone's game right now, isn't it, actually? I was not expecting to see us get down to the 18 zeros this early. I mean, that tells me kind of for sure that it's going to end up in the 17s. Has it taken a little bit of gravel at the exit of Della Roggia there? It's going to slow him down a little bit. I think he's on for a pretty good lap, though.
Copy looks so good right now. Honestly, he looks really clean. That entire run through Ascari could not have been any more surgical if he tried. Like, there was not even a hint of understeer or oversteer. Everything was absolutely perfect. Coming through Parabolica now then. Does need to make sure he stays within the white lines, and he does. Coming up to the line there. Is this going to be a good point? It is a P5. It's not bad, but he is half a second away from our current pole position time.
Yep. Luca just behind him has managed to maybe get a little bit of slipstream. Although not that much, he was quite far behind. But Luca, again, on a charge, going quite soon, actually. He might even be going for 4 timed runs. Could probably squeeze it in.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at strategy, softs and mediums are very easy to do here, so expect to see that coming into the race. I wouldn't surprise me then if they use... Oh!
Good catch.
That was, fantastic catch.
Yeah, obviously ruined his lap. It's a shame.
And tyres,
So
for that matter.
Yeah, true. Rainbow starting a lap as well. It's Cover Grande.
Bottas gang as well. Somebody we've both put into our top 3. He's invalidated this lap. He did a 119.6 as his previous best lap. Bit concerning then. Maybe we've overestimated how good he could be.
Maybe. He's been a bit like Chanakinchi recently. He's not been hitting the heights that he was early in the season. A big wiggle by one of the Red Bulls coming out of... That was Lando's Milk on an outlap. Took a load of gravel on the exit of the second Lesmo.
He's playing off all cool though right now, just weaving it. Yeah, I meant to do that. As Kagan is coming to line, he's a 10 faster. He will jump up a little bit, but only to P11, a 118.922. I just want to point out, if I was to attempt a qualifying here, I would be dead last because of how crazy these times are. Like, yeah, I could beat Hazard's 151, I think, but that's only because he's done a bank lap and he's span on that lap.
I'd chuck it on pole.
Yeah, easy slaps.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, all right, cool. I'll put you to the test one time. Zorro has invalidated his lap. He is 3/10 faster, which would put him around about Yonsi's pace, at a P7. But invalidation means he more than likely either extended or completely cut the track somewhere. MC coming into the pits as well. I think we're starting to see more and more people dive in now.
Yeah, we've got Rainbow up to third. He is 1 millisecond away from Luca, who I think probably would have improved had he not had that moment. Chanakinchi is about to start his hot lap as well. It seems like it's not sort of 3 sets of runs in quick succession. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. I'm not seeing a lot of slipstreaming either.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is
really
a
surprising, actually.
exactly, yeah. It doesn't make sense why you wouldn't slipstream here if you have. I mean, look at it in the real F1 last year. It was an absolute mess because of how much they were all desperate to get a slipstream, but nobody here is doing it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's strange. I'm not sure why they're not doing it because there is so much time to be gained.
I mean, especially if you're the likes of Danico and Copy.
Yeah.
But they've proven it time and time. Just look at last week. They were giving each other the toe, and you know, seemingly today, neither of them opted for it.
You're on Team Beaker as well, and I know for a fact that Rainbow and Vexit are in the same group chat, Discord calling. But yeah, not interested in Slipstream, which is completely bizarre.
Yeah,
But
easy
anyway,
V10s there.
in the meantime, Seb has improved. So Seb's someone we didn't mention, but he is really putting in the goods.
Oh, Kagan retired.
That is
on track. That's on track. That's not even a crash. That's just voluntary retirement.
Maybe had a qualifying ban that he forgot to serve.
Well, it's too late for that. He's already got time on the board.
Yeah, it might be. Although, you probably think that a lot of people are going to beat that with their track evolution.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at it. He's outside the top 10 already anyway, so it's not like his qualifying is going to make too much of a difference. And like you say, everyone should be in a position where they can beat that in this level, so don't expect that to stay as is. I mean, China Kinchi is 17.8 is his new fastest lap. Like this guy is somebody we need to stop overlooking. Yeah. He is really fast.
He's had his Weetabix this morning.
He really has.
Yeah, or whatever Turkish brand of cereal you might enjoy. I don't know. Probably Weetabix.
Maybe he had Turkish Delight. Maybe that was what it was.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. Okay. We do have a Haas come around the final turn. That is Beaker to start a hot lap. He's already invalidated on his out lap. So let's watch now then. I did actually speak to him right before we got into this commentary booth, and he was saying that he's really struggling with turn 1-2, mainly turn 2. So let's see now how he handles this. He's locked up a little bit on the right hand side, but that looks pretty clean. I don't think there's any issues there.
So the key is to really cut the first part of the chicane as much as you can, and almost avoid the curb on the second part just to get you that really clean exit. Because if you mess that exit up, you're going to lose sort of 3/10 before you get down to the Della Rocha. But it looks very clean so far.
Hazardous span again. Same place.
That would be bad news for the race then, because you know you're never going to get better tires and better conditions than you do right now.
Yeah.
So if he's spinning now, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he really is. I wonder if he's maybe just trying to take the esports line, which is you've got to cut that exit curb on the left-hand side if you want to get the perfect run out of it. But that takes a lot of practice to get every single time you hit that curb. Because if you take it wrong, you end up in the same position that Hazard's in right now, just pointing the wrong direction and tires completely burnt to a crisp.
The exit improves by half a second. 18-1, still some way away from Chan, but yeah. Do you know why they call it the esports line, Ben?
Because only esports drivers can do it, and it's insane.
Exactly, because it's the esports line, and if you're not an esports driver, you should be just taking the pleb line.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Which, speaking of pleb line, a fair few of these people will be using racing line as well. Beaker.
Me.
Are you really still a racing line user?
Yeah, well, on F1 I am.
How long have you done
actually, I don't even
iRacing?
play it. I can't say that because I haven't played it in like 4 months.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, I don't do it in ACC or iRacing. So.
But that makes no sense. Anyway. Most of the drivers are in the pits. It's not quite the calm before the storm because there are quite a few people still out on the circuit going around doing out laps, doing in laps, and some of them even doing hot laps. So Seb is one of them. He's currently on a hot lap right now. Interesting that he's done it now though. Maybe he's going for 2 runs potentially, but realistically you don't want to do that on soft tyres.
Absolutely. I just Still can't believe I haven't seen anyone slipstreaming.
Yeah. Seb just made a bit of a boo-boo through Lesmo 1.
I think Yonti's the one that's going to get all the camera time here because everyone else is invalidated.
Yeah. Is Beaker invalidated as well?
Yeah,
Or he's on...
Yeah. So he got his lap in, but I think he's on an in-lap right now.
Yeah, he is. We have... that was Seb who's invalidated. So yeah, realistically, unless Chan's who's on an out lap. Daniko, who is on a hot lap as well. He's a bit further ahead, I guess, than Yonti. We'll keep an eye on him too. Oh, never mind. That's invalidated. So we'll move back onto Yonti.
Yeah, Yonti, not the best run through the Del Rogia. Took a bit too much curb and a big wiggle there through Lesmo 1. That's just going to cost him time. And maybe a new set of underwear needed. And just a millimetre too much, and he's invalidated.
I'm actually quite amazed at how many invalidations we're seeing. This is not really a track
Yeah.
that you normally see a lot of invalidations. Maybe turn 1, or maybe Ascari, but not through Lesmo 1 and 2.
I tell you what, you've got to though, because it's basically a track with like what 6 or 7 corners. You've got to make the absolute most of every corner, and you know, if you don't, you're going to get left behind. Hence why people are trying to take that esports line, and you know, in the case of Hazard, not pulling it off.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, that's assuming that he's taking that line. He's had 2 spins
true,
there.
true.
Surely that's the only way that he's having those level of spins. But yeah, whatever he's got wrong, he has to figure it out quickly. I mean, at the same time, yes, he's still qualifying higher than Bottas Gang. He's still qualifying higher than his teammate Spicy, and currently same for Daniko. But they are yet to get times on the board. But they need to hurry up and get out of the pit lane.
Yeah, Chanakinchi has aborted his lap. He was actually a 10th up, but messed up through the De La Rogia.
Yeah.
But he's got fuel for another run. He's got 2.8 laps worth of fuel on. So he will go again. The clock is actually accurate today.
Well, then
So
those
it
that are
is
still in the
1
pit,
minute
so
20.
well, Spicy and Daniko then are going to miss out.
It looks like they are, yep.
I actually don't think they have a qualifying ban, do they? I don't remember them getting a qualifying ban.
I can't imagine Daniko does, because he's not someone who goes around picking up penalties. Oh, we did have that first lap crash though last week, didn't we?
Where was last week's Spa?
No, Hungary, right? No, it was
Was it?
Spa.
I was going to say, I'm sure it's Spa.
Yeah, no, it was out of the source. They had a big crash for both the... No, I'm thinking of RNL. Never mind.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Daniko did...
I'm in a
did no,
different
it's
world.
fine, I mean, that's the problem. When you commentate as many leagues as we do,
Yeah.
and they both got the same driver... Well, some of them have got the same drivers, and you've got some of them that are also on the same... Well, they're on the same tracks as well. It's hard to remember who did what, where, and what time, but yeah, absolutely. Understandable for you to be confused. Spicy, though, still in the pits as well, so he's not going to be able to get a time on the board. He must have had a qualifying ban, because I've not seen him come out on track once.
Yeah. Daniko did come out on track, didn't he? Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
But bad news for everyone. Chanakinchi's up by 2/10.
Yeah, I'm still worried for him, though. I mean, whilst he is absolutely smashing it in the qualifying, I'm worried for his race. The clock has hit 0, so all these guys that do come across the line now will have to either have started lap already or come to the end of their hot lap, because here comes Chanakinchi to improve his already existing time, a 17.690. This guy's nuts.
And Vexit just had a great run through the De La Rogia. He's coming up to a racing point. I think it's a racing point of Luca. Might actually do him a favour there, because he's not a slow driver. He might be able to give him a slipstream. Oh, and there's a crash. Huge crash coming out of second Lesmo. So Hazard was driving slowly on the inside of the exit of De La Rogia. Luca almost pulled over to try and get a slipstream off him. Closed way too quickly and just drove into the back of him.
At least no penalty was issued to Hazard. We have seen in the past where penalties have been issued unnecessarily. Vexit is the next to come across the line then. Is he any faster than his previous best? 1:18.1 is what he's done. He needs a whole half a second just to take pole now. I think might be a bit too stretchy. He's gone close, but not quite enough. P2.
You know, fair enough. He's in the 17s, and, you know, anything in the 17s is absolutely fantastic. Seb improves, but not by enough. 18.1. Who else have we? I think that's it. Oh, we've got Bottas Gang. Bottas Gang has backed out.
Yeah.
Bottas Gang P18.
And we
Thought he was gonna be
both...
P3.
Exactly. We both predicted him on the top 3, and he's nowhere near it. He couldn't be any further away if you try it. The only way he could have been further away is if Spicy and Danica actually got a time on the board, but they're not allowed to.
Yeah. But by that amount of margin, I don't think he's that slow. Something must have happened. He must have invalidated or something every lap.
Yeah. Yeah. Without doubt. Okay, well, qualifying's over.
Oh, Hazard was given a 5-place grid penalty. I just paused and unpaused the game when that came up.
Oh.
So, probably unjust. He was driving slowly, but he was pulled over way off the racing line. So, that is unfortunate.
But that is the end of qualifying. It is Chanakinchi getting pole position by 3/10 almost, ahead of Vexit, who's in P2, Seb P3, Embassy P4, Beaker in 5th place with Luca in 6th, Rainbow 7th, Copy 8th, Yonti 9th, with Dennis rounding out the top 10. Frajoko in best of the rest in P11, with Brownie rounding us outside that 1 second margin, only just there in P12. Max Claren P13, Kagan P14, Zorro 15th, Landos Milkman 16th, Hazard, who seems to have a lot of issues, and he has one more to go with that. That's a 5-players grid penalty, as you just pointed out, with Bottas Gang and Spicy there 18th and 19th, but it's Spicy and Danica who didn't get a time on the board due to qualifying bans. So, what's your prediction for 1, 2, 3? I am told it is going to be completely dry.
Oh, you got to ruin it for me.
Sorry.
Time trial setup or no time trial setup? 3/10 is 3/10. I think probably might live to eat my words, but I think he's going to run away with this, Chanakinchi. I don't think that Vexit will give up second either. I think he'll run Chanakinchi pretty close, actually. But third is the one I'm struggling with. Pika, maybe? Although Seb has been very solid in qualifying. It's quite spread out over the top 3, actually, from what I was seeing.
I've got an out there one. Do you want it?
Yeah, go on then.
So Vexit for the win.
Okay, understandable.
Seb for P2.
Okay.
And Brownie for P3. Oh, actually, no. I'm regretting that one already.
He's quite far down, isn't he?
I'll go Beaker P3.
I'm thinking Embassy.
No, I'm going Beaker P3. I'll let you change yours. Go on.
I think it could be any of the top 6 that come in third. And third's really, really tight. But I think Chanakinchi and Vexit P1 and 2. And then it's so many good drivers in that top 10 that could take third.
Yeah. Where is Brownie? P12? I mean, he's on the mediums.
As it is. Chanakinchi, Vexit, Seb.
See, if it was Brownie of old, I would have had so much confidence in my Brownie P3 easy, right? Because he's on his perfect scenario for how I would have called Brownie of old, right? Okay. Alternate strategy. Easily the best strategy when it comes to these sorts of league races, in my opinion. And it's also his perfect performance, if you like. He used to be incredibly good at keeping himself penalty free. He used to be incredibly good at keeping himself out of contact. But that seems to have sort of fallen away a little bit here. It's like he's put so much time and energy into being ultra fast, which is fantastic. But at the same time, he's lost a degree of consistency when it comes to those penalty situations. But also, I think he's getting a bit too ahead of himself now because he knows he's faster. He gets a bit aggressive and then makes a mistake and ends up with damage. I'm hoping he can prove me wrong, but for that, I can't put him in my top 3. So again, I'm going to have to go back to it. So Vexit for P1, Seb for P2, and Beaker for P3.
All right. I'll let you tell him that.
I don't really want to, I'll be honest. I was hoping you'd do it.
So I've got a bit of a funny story for you. So I was right about Bottas Gang. He only got 1 lap in, his first, and that's why he was sort of half a second down off the rest of the field. But he forgot to turn his ERS on for that lap.
Oh.
So his 1 valid lap, he forgot to turn ERS on for. So that is why our friend Bottas Gang is down in 17th.
Well, I'm hoping that he can do near enough, not quite, but near enough a last to first challenge, because he's going to need more than a miracle, I think, here in this GP. But the drivers are now into their grid boxes. Hazard, who has that penalty, remember, has put himself at the back of the grid as a result. And now Chanakinchi at the start of this GP. It's go time. The lights went out beautifully on time there, and Chan's got a fantastic start. So has one of the McLarens. We've already had an Alfa off in the wall, and another McLaren in the wall. Danico's retired. Into the pit wall he goes. Sector 1 yellow flag. We might see a safety car. We'll have to wait and see, but coming in towards turn 1. Lots more carnage.
Safety car. Yep.
Lots more carnage.
Oh, huge penalties for everyone. Severe collisions.
Oh my word, look at that.
Oh my god. Everyone.
5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5,
Yeah,
5. That's crazy.
So that is Embassy out of the running, because they're probably going to pit this lap and go for hards. I would probably do that. I know that would be the some idiot strategy.
Yep. I think it's the right strategy for sure. In fact, where is somebody? He's not here today, is he?
He's not here. I think it's like touch and go, his time zone, about whether he gets up on time for these races.
Oh, I see.
I know RNL, which is an hour later than this, he is like just getting out of bed, having his morning coffee in those races. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing a restart here. I don't think they should, personally.
Nothing in the chat just as of yet. I mean, none of the admins actually have a penalty, so they might not be aware of it yet.
We'll have to wait and see.
I think, to be honest, it's not really going to matter, because sort of everyone outside the top 10 has got the same penalty. Fragioko might gain, Embassy will sink a bit, but they're probably all going to pit anyway. Embassy actually stays out, so he's not going to serve that time penalty in the pits under safety car.
Yeah.
A lot of the other guys are, yeah. They're all coming into the pits outside the top 10.
I mean, to be honest, serving it under the safety car pretty much eliminates it, realistically. And with the volume of people that have it, you know, effectively, it's like it never happened, other than the fact that you're now on different tires. You know, lots of people choosing hards. Interesting to see Yonti and Kagan have gone mediums. Is that Fragioko on softs? Yeah.
I was looking at the penalties, not the tires, but yeah. Zorro, P6 on hard tires. Sorry, no, yeah. Oh, it's all over the place.
The telemetry's all from P12 onwards is P1 onwards.
Yes. Fantastic.
But Embassy, like you say, didn't decide to go into the pit lane to serve his 5 seconds and change tires. So he will have to serve that later on. Yeah, I think this is a huge mistake for him.
Big mistake. Yeah. I guess he didn't count on as many people behind pitting. But yeah, that's worrying for those soft runners as well.
Yeah, I mean, only a little bit, because the hards are going to be awkward and slow, and they're going to take these tires to the end of the race, whereas softs and mediums are going to be fantastic.
There's so many of them on that hard, taking it to the end. They're going to have to slice their way through that traffic.
Yeah, but this is a track where overtaking is really easy, especially if you've got a superior tire, if you like. You know, the softs, mediums are going to be way better performance than the hards. And actually, the hards, when it comes to grip through some of the high-speed corners, and I'm looking more like Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2, that's where you start to see issues. I reckon this is not going to be the only safety car we're going to see today.
I'm not sure about that. It's an interesting one. There's plenty of runoff for if you make a mistake. It's not really, you're not in really any danger, apart from maybe the exit of Lesmo 2 of hitting a wall big time, well, and the exit of Ascari. I don't see where else you could really put a car in the wall. If you miss the braking zone for any of the chicanes, you can just carry straight on. Could be, but I don't think we'll see another safety car, to be honest.
Do you want to put a wager on
it? No.
Okay.
I'm not that lucky.
I'm almost certain that we're going to see another safety car.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you who's going to cause it, because I think it could be a range of different people. I mean, look at turn 1.
Here anymore, so it would be
that's fair comment, yeah.
I reckon Dennis. If it's going to come from somebody.
Honestly, I was thinking one of the Ferrari boys for sure. But I'm hoping it's not Fragioko, because this is his home circuit. And, you know, if there's one thing that Italians really care for, it's their home GPs. They really don't want to balls this up. So, and I hope for him that he doesn't balls this up.
Wow,
so
he's already balls the strategy, so.
yeah, well that's true. Yeah, going on the soft has really not helped him.
Yeah, it might
I don't
be
even
a
know what
winning
his game
strategy.
plan is there.
If there is a safety car at the perfect time for him, he could shoot up the order, but yeah, he only stands to gain 4 positions on people that are like on a harder compound.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to have to take the same strategy as everyone else. I think he's really screwed himself, but safety car is in this lap.
Yeah.
So we'll see Chanakinchi not weaving, keeping it nice and slow.
Hopefully we can have a much nicer and cleaner lap 1, turn 1 level this time. Spicy again, 5-second penalty. That's huge. And away we go. Chan's already got himself kicked off there.
Well.
Yeah. Who is it? Bottas Gang they're having issues with?
No,
yeah, he's falling right down to the back, so it must have been him.
Maybe desync on his end. I'm not sure.
Oh, look at MSC going for a move here on Seb, coming in towards turn 1. He's going to have to take the outside for turn 1, but he'll have the inside for turn 2. He's later on the brakes. Has he given him enough space? I think he has, but it's so tight. A little bit of a nudge between the two of them, but he has got that move done. He's definitely a man on a mission, and he's looking for more than P3.
Well, he needs 5 seconds to make it happen, but yeah, what a move around the outside, like you said. Got the inside for... Oh, and Bika. Bika goes around the outside at Cover Grande as well. Trouble for Seb.
Yeah, I think that's a confidence issue there. He's actually just kissed the gravel as well, which has not helped him. Rainbow on his heels as well, and you know Rainbow's definitely a person who will see a crack of an opportunity and absolutely send it, so keep an eye on that. Absolutely.
Looking at Frajoko as well, because he should be one that's moving up the times, moving up the standings. He's on the edge of Brownie. He short shifts, turns off his overtake, and tucks in behind him. No real desire to get past quickly.
Bottas Gang is having a nightmare today. This is not the same Bottas Gang we know and love. Somebody's clearly driving for him that isn't him. Frajoko, though, on the soft tyres, not really opting to use much ERS. I'd have thought he would have looked to try and send it past Brownie as quick as he could to try and get onto the back of Copy. He almost runs into the back of Brownie there, actually. That would have been disastrous, as Chan's got the new fastest lap. There we go. Now Frajoko's turned overtake on. Now he's going to cruise on by, and that is going to be a job done. We have an AlphaTauri. That is Zorro into the pits.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. Didn't see any penalties or anything. It must be wing. These are brand new hards.
Yeah, front wing there.
Putting on softs.
Yeah, this is a mistake. This is him throwing his race away.
Maybe could have done medium to the end, but yeah, soft spins he's going to have to... That's going to be a 3-stop race for him. That's a bit of a disaster unless there's another safety car. We got a yellow flag.
Yeah, Luca. Oh, he's spanning back on the track as well. That is not the right way to get back on there at all. Luckily for ghosting, he has not caused any issues, but he's losing a lot of places.
Yeah, it could have been really unlucky for Hazard. He was coming in just as he unghosted, but ghosted again for some reason, so he got away with that. Yeah, it's very, very interesting, this race. Embassy hasn't really managed to get any sort of advantage after passing Seb. Bika seems really comfortable behind him. In fact, Embassy's lost the DRS.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to jinx it in any way.
Make some sort of, okay.
I don't even want to say it because every time he blames me for his disasters every race, so I don't want to say it. But
as you should.
But there's an individual who's driving a red car and he's looking okay, whereas his teammate has just gone for a move on Copy and he's up there at P10, P9 even.
I'm not sure what you mean.
About what and who?
About a red driver doing very well. I haven't seen it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's just dropped out of DRS, so that's not good news. Especially since Yonsi's on the, in theory, slower tyre. So Dennis not doing as well as you might think there. I think he is struggling.
He was already struggling before I said it, so it doesn't count. Okay, I'm just saying that now.
Okay, that's fine. Didn't mention his name.
Alright. He who shall not be named. Okay, well.
So, I'll tell you what, Vex had just dropped above 1 second there.
Yeah, I think that might have been
Look at the difference in battery between Chanakinchi and Vexi. Chanakinchi's cruising, he's got his feet up.
Well, you say that, but he took a very wide line on the exit there for Ascari. Yeah, I am pretty confident he's going to have a lot of issues soon.
I'm pretty confident that he is going to drive away as soon as Vexit burns off more ERS than he can sort of recuperate during a lap. Vexit the fastest lap there, but it's not made a dent, has it? 6
Not
tenths
really.
now the gap. That slipstream is the only thing keeping him in this race, I think.
I don't know. I think he's biding his time a little bit as well, to be honest. I think he realised partway through that lap, whoops, I need to be careful. Chinese actually faster than I think. And that has caused a bit of a scare for him. But we'll see later on as he's coming through the circuit to close back in a little bit. Although he has dropped again to about 7 tenths, so yeah, needs to get a move on. Seb, though, this is a nice little battle here for P3. Embassy leading it. Beaker there. Oh, he's made a mistake. Oh, Seb just kind of had nowhere to go. He needed to carry momentum, and he goes into the back of Beaker. No damage, though. Just a little bit of a code brown.
That's the positive about making a mistake on the exit of the second chicane. It's not really giving anyone else anywhere to go, so you kind of, it's a bit of a get out of jail free card. Rainbow also being invited into this fight as well. He's up to 3 tenths now.
Yeah, I mean, he's also not using hardly any ERS. Look at that, 76%.
Maybe trying an overcut, maybe.
I think he might go for a move soon, though, honestly. He looks like he's kind of gearing himself up for it, but at the same time, it's so hard to overtake people that are in the train, especially if they don't make... Oh, Seb made a mistake here. He might pounce for him. He's got overtake mode in mode 3. Is he going to keep it going? He's committing here.
You're right.
He's committing.
Right.
There's the DRS. And Seb turns it off.
Seb's DRS closed.
Yeah.
Hey,
he turns it back on again. Yeah, he's turned it off intentionally, I think, because I think he realized Rainbow was coming.
It's brave. Yeah, I mean, you say that, but he jigged to the inside just before the braking zone, so trying the mind punt didn't work.
I actually don't think Seb was trying to re-overtake him there. I think he was trying to get out of the toe to try and not gain too much momentum so he didn't overshoot the corner into turn 1. But I think he just did it too late. He's right there on the back of Rainbow. There's contact between them.
Actually, a bit of a NASCAR-esque, a little bit of a bump and run. Doesn't quite work. Zorro, fastest lap. Making the most of those new softs.
Yep.
Yellow flag in sector 2, and it's Max Clarent.
Yeah.
Spinning it out of... Oh, he's got front wing damage as well. Yeah.
A bit. How many pounces has he got as well? A 3 second, that's all.
3 seconds, yeah. Hasn't now 3 seconds. Yonti, 3 seconds. First of the front runners. And that's a shame, actually, because Yonti was one of the guys who stopped at that safety car. And he was sort of first out of the guys who'd stopped in that safety car. He wasn't going to go to the end on those mediums, but yeah, he was certainly a good bet for this race until now.
Seb is really struggling on ERS right now. Single digits as he comes onto that DRS straight. I mean, Beaker's in a similar sort of position. That's usual Beaker stuff. To be honest, he's always been pretty poor when it comes to ERS management, but he's still, I don't know, it's like the 20-30% range for him is like that's really good for him. I don't know how he does it, but he is.
Yeah, it might be a case of sort of leaving it on for a couple of laps and then panicking, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and then managing it really, really well. I know that's kind of my style. Anyway, just sort of forget the overtakes on.
And then find you're on 0 battery when the red number comes up. Like, oh no.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
What do I do now? I just want to point out, Vexit has closed in quite nicely on Chanakinchi, and he's not had to burn that much ERS. He was at 4 tenths after the first sector.
Yeah, I was about to mention it. They've both actually sort of gained ERS. Like the average level of their battery is definitely getting higher, which is kind of bad news for the 18 other drivers, or 17 other drivers left in this race.
Yeah.
Because they're not fighting too hard. I think they're kind of aware of, where they stand right now. They're probably going to try and win this in the pit stop. And Chanakinchi is trying to do just that.
Yep.
Chooses very late to go into the pits. Did not want Vexit to try that undercut. Probably trying to go on it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is a good call from Chan, I think. He's done it at the right time. 17 laps is quite a good amount to do on the medium tyres. It does now mean, though, that Vexit has to get a move on. That's why you can see he's deploying a lot of ERS to try and get around as quick as he can so he can get in the pits and effectively try an overcut. Yeah, and
if Chanakinchi can pull out a couple of tenths here, he's going to be very close to that 1 second margin, and it might be game over if you get out of the ERS here. Sorry, DRS.
Yeah,
Rainbow
for sure.
Very close to the back of Beaker on his rear wheel going into Lesma 1.
Yeah.
So Beaker, a man under pressure.
But he does handle pressure quite well. It's when he's left to his own devices, he seems to get a bit complacent and then makes those mistakes. Dennis, actually on the back of his teammate as well. I think Fred Jerko is enjoying this race a lot more than Dennis is. And actually, fun fact for you, last season, Dennis and Fred Jerko had a massive collision coming out of Lesmo 2, which resulted in them both DNFing.
That is a fun fact. Not fun for them.
Beaker and Rainbow, they are literally wheel to wheel coming up towards Parabolica. It's going to be Beaker on the inside. Rainbow's going round. How are they desynced or are they just?
No,
I think they're actually able to see each other.
That
wow.
Was
oh, they're both
amazing.
in.
They're both in, and yeah, Rainbow gets there first. Vexit in the pits. This will be interesting now. Is he going to come out ahead of Chanakinchi? My gut feeling is no. Chanakinchi has the DRS from Bottasgang, I believe. No, he does not. That's unfortunate. He does not. But a purple third sector. I think that's everything Chanakinchi needs. Yep, that is 100% Chanakinchi. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. 3 seconds. 3 seconds is the gap.
Also to mention, almost 4. Also to mention, Rainbow got double stacked in the pits because Vexit came in. So a bit of miscommunication between the Renault drivers means Rainbow falls further back, but Beaker actually jumps Embassy in the pit lane and somehow manages to get a 3.8 second gap to Embassy behind. So realistically, Beaker is running in P3.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened. Kind of everyone has sort of pulled 3 seconds to each other. They were so close coming in. Beaker's lost 3 seconds to Vexit. I'm not sure what's happened there, but you know, Chanakinchi won't be complaining, although he's being held up by Bottasgang here.
Yeah, a little bit. This could be Vexit's saving grace, to be honest. This would be really good if they could hold him back. Landers Millman and Dennis, so they've swapped places.
2.7 now.
What's happened? Dennis is having issues. Has Dennis got a puncture?
I'll have a look.
He's really struggling with his car. Yeah, rear left. So. Rear left has popped. Oh,
yeah, he's not even getting the bit.
Oh no!
That'll reset him onto the track. That's a spicy meatball. And 3 wide into turn 1. Chanakinchi.
Oh.
Can he get it into the braking zone? Yes, he can. Yep, that's how you do it. And Bottasgang loses out there.
Yeah.
Does so well getting past Hazard, but Chanakinchi squeezes him on the inside. He doesn't get the proper exit. Hazard takes that position back.
Dennis, I'm amazed Dennis survived that. That would have been a huge crash.
He get it into the pits, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he actually clipped his rear left wheel on the wall as he came into the pits. Luckily the game reset him and then he carried on.
Yeah. Okay.
I also want to point out I had nothing to do with his jinx. Okay?
Yeah, no, you didn't.
I said nothing. Nope.
Maybe you wrote it down or something.
Yeah, I've got like a doll here with Dennis's face on it that I just keep stabbing all day long. Kagan though.
The voodoo doll into the next room.
Oh wait, Dennis is doing well. Quick, where's the knife? Let me stab this doll. Oh, there you go. Back left tire's gone. I mean, he wasn't even on the tire for very long if you think about it. He only did 12 laps on it, so
you know,
it's quite surprising.
Sure. Yeah.
Kagan, going for a move here on Copy. Looks like in towards turn 1. It's going to be late on the brakes. I think he's moved out of the toe. Oh, never mind. He's going for the send. He licked the stamp. He sent it. And I think Copy might be able to hold him back just about. The medium tires should be better than the hards. But it looks like Copy's got the exit he needed. But the ERS is going to be very much available to Kagan. And he's burning a lot of it. Cuts the curve quite nicely. Not quite the way he wants to. But he's going to go again. Copy realizes it. Tries to get middle of the track. This is going to be very late from Kagan. This is surely going to end in tears. A big lockup from the two of them. Another send over the curb there from Copy. And Kagan might finally get this done.
And Seb has come out of the pits ahead of Beaker, so he's back into P3 net. Chanakinchi's got into 6th place. He has passed Spicy on the home straight. Bottasgang passing Hazard on the home straight as well. So plenty of movement through the pack. Vexit now has got to try and really get through this traffic as quick as possible. He's coming up to Ascari. He's got Hazard closing in. Closing into Hazard, sorry. But yeah, has to take this one super slowly.
Yeah.
You can see how much he's been compromised, yeah.
I think, honestly, this is...
He's having to burn so much as well to make sure he gets past these guys.
This is so much frustration for Vexit here.
Yeah.
all it took was that one pit stop. If he'd have just followed him in, he would have been fine. But he didn't, and that was the problem.
Super smart from Kagan going super late into that pits. He was, you know, he really had practiced that, I guess. He'd sort of thought of doing that the whole time. And it
You mean
really paid off. Sorry, yeah, that's the one.
The other Turkish driver.
You know, the guy, yeah.
The other Turkish driver.
I've only said his name like 20 times this race so far. You know, don't worry about it.
I'm sure Kagan wishes he was in the same position.
Now lining up Bottasgang, but he's run out of ERS, so he's caught camping on his wheel. Tries a move, forces Bottasgang into a decision. Bottasgang does let him through. I wouldn't have him off there, to be honest.
I mean, Bottasgang was a lot more generous than he had to be there. I mean, he realizes he doesn't have to fight this because he's not actually in the running for this top 2 position. But at the same time, you are physically fighting for track position right there and then. And Bottasgang, he was given such a huge compromise to be on that inside curve in the second part of the chicane.
I would have maybe forgotten to give him all the space he needed in the second part of that chicane. Maybe giving him a face full of gravel for his pleasure. But he didn't, which is the important part. Beaker, 3 seconds. Not going to help him in his hunt for a podium tonight.
Yonti is 7.5 seconds ahead of Brownie. He is current race leader. Yes, obviously he doesn't necessarily have to pit. He's technically done his pit stop, but I highly doubt these mediums will go to the end.
I would recommend he does pit, is what we're probably thinking right now. But you know what? It's not a bad shout.
Oh no! I don't think Spicy can see Vexit, but Vexit has been rotated, and that's caused him to lose so much now. He's lost out to Bottasgang, he's lost out to Hazard, and Seb's coming in as well.
Max Claren's crashed on the exit of Ascari, and he's retired on the track. No one around him, but he has retired on the track.
I think Vexit is, well, I know Vex is going to be livid, but I don't think Spicy was actually able to see him, because the way he drove there was as if he couldn't even see Vexit even slightly. So, interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Spicy was, I think, the only person who actually asked for a restart, so maybe he's got more issues than that set of penalties everyone got at the start of the race.
Cool. I'm just wondering if we're going to see Hazard make the same mistakes he made in qualifying, because he had a really bad one.
Very close to Brownie now, the other medium runner. So Brownie very vulnerable here. Kagan with the DRS, it should be a slam dunk. And yeah, look at that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Well, Lando's Milton, his teammate, is also looking to do the same thing, but this time to copy down the inside on the brakes. He gets onto it quite nicely. A little bit of a lockup, but
very nice.
Done and dusted.
Yep, maybe took a % off the tyre life, but yeah, track position is... It's not everything in Monza, because the DRS is...
Ooh. Rainbow and Embassy. Embassy just squeezed Rainbow. There's contact, and that's not the way to retaliate there. A bit of an extra lunge alongside of it. Luckily, neither of them got a penalty, but he is giving it the full beans. Rainbow does finally make that move stick. That was a bit aggressive for me.
Rainbow using a lot of overtake and then weaving. Whether that was an apology or a choice word. Dennis is out. Yeah. Dennis is out in the pits.
Yeah, he's had enough.
So we have seen it cause a safety car before, but I think, we got away with that. Sector 1. Yeah, that's just Dennis coming out of the pits.
I don't think I've seen it in this game, actually. I have seen it in the past plenty of times, but I don't think I've seen it once here. But Chanakinchi making very easy work there.
Yonti's in. I saw him get a bit of oversteer on the exit of Parabolica there. I thought maybe his tyres are going off. 13 he managed on the medium. So kind of makes you think about Chan, who's going for 17.
Yeah. I'm still not...
Yonti onto the soft.
Yellow flag again. That's Zora. Zora's had enough for Ascari.
Yeah. On the exit of Parabolica. Oh, it's puncture, I think. Rear left.
No.
10 lap.
No, he's good.
Oh, no, never mind.
You're hallucinating again.
It's just when it's far away in the graphics, they don't look the best. Yeah. But after 10 laps in the soft, you can kind of imagine why the rear rotated on the exit of Ascari.
Yonti. Going for Embassy. Embassy giving him sufficient space. Not doing what he did to Rainbow. And he slots in nicely behind Yonti. Maybe a little bit overcooked into that corner. Not really a problem though for him on the exit. Chanakichi looking for Lando's Milkman now.
He's got so much grip compared to everyone else.
And the natural pace to go with it as well, which helps him
True.
cruise on by these guys. I mean, his
Oh, and
ERS...
there's Kagan spinning in front. And
That's puncture.
There we go, Chan. I don't think Brownie will get in the way of Chan one bit here. Yeah, and...
Oh, it's not.
Oh, wait, no. That's...
It looked like
that?
it was a puncture.
It could have been, but more interested in Chan and Brownie. Brownie pulled over to the left, or to the right, off the racing line.
Lando's.
To give the position to Chan. And then
Lando's
Chan
Milkman
backs
here.
off himself.
This is going to be very hellish
Chan
coming in towards turn
quad
1.
for the slipstream there. And then comes over to block Lando's Milkman, but it doesn't work in the end.
Nope. Big problems there for him. Lando's Milkman did a very good job to get through. Nice and clean. Seb actually having a bit of a side-by-side battle as well here with Beaker. They've been here before. It's Seb who's going to benefit this time. He gets himself back up to P7. And now Beaker, who's a bit better off than Seb in terms of ERS usage, should be able to retaliate a bit later when we get onto the DRS. But he's going for a look there. That was a bit of a scare from Beaker. I thought he was going to full send it.
I wouldn't be like Beaker, would it?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. Chan, though, he's pretty much done here. He's pretty much just sailed into the sunset.
We've got Seb, the only one that's on the same strategy that doesn't have to pit again. And
Well, Vexit as well to an extent.
7.8. Yeah, well, Vexit is further away now, isn't he, after that spin?
My only worry is the puncture territory. We saw Yonsi have to come in after 14. He didn't have to pit. I mean, I think he did it because he realizes, well, he's going to have to pit because his tires are eventually going to pop no matter what, whether it be lap 25 or whatever. So I may as well go softs to the end and at least be quick. I think Chandler will be very risky when it comes to around about lap 25, 26.
Sorry, yeah, I'm wrong there. They don't have to pit again, so... Because they pitted lap 1, didn't they, those hard runners? Yeah, it could be... There's a big enough gap, don't you think, to the guys that have stuck with that 2-stop, or 1-stop, sorry. So Seb is 8 seconds, or about 6 seconds away from Brownie, 8 seconds away from the leader. So we could see Lando's Milkman and Brownie 2nd and 3rd here.
Could do. Could do.
Hopefully
I mean, Lando's
got that penalty.
Yeah.
So it might be Copy that kind of takes that away, but Copy is dropping back a little bit.
Our resident Carlos Sainz is even in the McLaren as well.
He is indeed. He's got the rev limiter glitch on my end.
He's all good here for me. But look at the trend. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, which are pretty close. They're almost in the trains to each other. Then there's a bit of a gap there. Bottas gang in P5. Now these guys from P2 onwards down to P6 are all on the same strategy. It's Seb though. He's actually looking at Hazard. He's burning more of that ERS. He's backed out now though. I reckon he's going to easy send it on that home straight, but he needs to watch out. Beaker could retaliate if he can close in a bit more, but I think Beaker's gone to full conservative mode because he's at the highest ERS I've seen him all race.
My game's crashed, I think. Haven't seen that in a while.
Right, well, I'll wait for you to return. However, Seb has gone for a move here on Hazard, but he has used every single percentage of his ERS, and that's allowed Hazard to retaliate. Hard on the brakes, they both go. Coming in towards turn 1, Seb's been squeezed off to the edge, but he's just about kept himself alongside. That has allowed him to get himself physically ahead, but whether or not that stops him from being able to go any further, because Hazard is coming straight back at him, and he has all the ERS in the world to pass him, and he has exactly done that. Beaker also here too. He also has a fair bit of ERS, which he can worry about later, but he has to not let Seb out of his sights, otherwise he will lose what is potentially a high point scoring position. Seb going again in towards Lesmo 1 alongside Hazard. Hazard runs deep. That allows Seb to just get that position, but he will lose out on the opportunity for DRS, whereas Beaker sees blood now. 41% ERS, DRS and ERS wing wide open. He's going for it now. He has to, because he cannot let Seb go. Here comes Hazard down the inside. Beaker as well. He's trying to get alongside him in towards the Scary. I think he's just about done it, but he's given him a nudge. Seb has been sent off into gravel and into the wall, and he's out of this Grand Prix. What a crash that was. Are we going to see a safety car? It was a very gentle tap. I think it was a bit of a mistake also from Seb that kind of caused that, but no safety car. Yellow flag sector 3. That is also, I believe, Luca. Yes, it is. Luca's off at Scary, in the same place we saw Hazard go. But you're missing all the action here, mate. Lando's Milkman is back onto the back of Brownie. Brownie is 2 seconds behind his teammate Chan, who's leading this race. We've got a change of positions for Beaker, who's got a huge send on Hazard, and that has backfired massively because even Vexit's through now as well. So Hazard up to P6, Vexit up to P7. Beaker, who's in big trouble, and he has his teammate in tow. They are definitely in cahoots with each other, and I can tell you now, Beaker will let Yonti by without a doubt. Yonti is up to P8, and suddenly, oh, Yonti's got a bit deep. Oh, he almost goes into the Renault. And he has kept himself alive in this Grand Prix. Luca has retired in the pit lane. And we are now down to 15 drivers remaining. Oh, Yonsi. Penalty added to his already existing one. He's got 6 seconds now. There is Hazard, who has 11. So expect to be seeing a chop and change of places later. Vexit has just got ahead of Hazard as well. And he should now be able to work on closing back in on Bottas gang, but he's fighting for track position among all of the drivers ahead of him. Yonti, though, has got ahead here of Hazard, is looking to get into the tow and DRS of Vexit. He might actually be able to get this one here. Yonti, he hasn't got a lot of ERS to play with, but he has more than Vexit, and that will be all he needs because they've got the DRS, he's got the tow. He's not using his ERS. There he is. He's now switched it back on again, and off he goes to get that position locked in. I don't think Vexit can go for the late break. He's not quite able to. And so Yonti up to P6, but penalties included will mean he falls down as we lose another driver. Kagan in the pit lane retires from the session.
Can I get an invite?
You can.
Yeah, my last one didn't work.
There you go.
So I'm looking at Kagan's stream. I do have him up on stream along with Brownie. As is typical. I have no concerns about Kagan's. Chan's tyres.
Okay.
I have no concerns about Chan's tyres at all.
Do you have Chan's stream up as well, or did you actually mean Kagan?
Chan and Brownie's stream.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
You're obsessed with Kagan today, aren't you?
Love him. I cried when he retired the car.
Alright, well, Copy and Landos Millman are still in with the DRS range of Brownie. Copy hasn't got any penalties, so he's looking to pass Landos Millman, as we said earlier. However, Brownie, I wish I had actually stuck with my original gut feeling that Brownie would pull this off. I said Brownie of old would absolutely dominate from this sort of strategy where he starts so far back.
Sorry, yeah. No.
And he's up to P2.
Yeah, I just get all the retirements flashing up on the screen. Like, at the
You
same
should
time,
have 6 in total.
Yes, 6 retirements, and Yonti just getting the fastest lap.
And for a change, I'm being blamed for Dennis's retirement. I had nothing to do with it, I assure you.
Nope.
Baker is closing in on Hazard again, though. ERS is still looking pretty good. However, his tyres will not be. 11 laps in on these mediums. They will start to crumble a little bit later on. Give it a couple more laps. I think he's going to start getting a bit sideways.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Lando's Milkman is doing pretty well right now, but Copy's set to leapfrog him. But a 4th position, wouldn't that be a great result for him?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he literally said right before this, he said anxiety and racing do not mix well together, which obviously gives us a big telltale sign that he's currently feeling quite anxious for one reason or another. However, he should be feeling pretty proud of himself. A P3 physically, P4 net. This is looking really good. Oh, I thought I jinxed him there.
You'd maybe have to check your pulse if you weren't feeling anxious before turn 1 at Monza.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's a very fair point.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't exactly open lobbies, but I'll tell you something,
No,
I've still got PTSD from
that. It's always open lobbies turn 1.
Yonti on the back of Bottas gang. He has a lot of penalties, does Yonti, but he has a lot of pace, and this is allowing him now to just cruise. Or is he actually cruising? Because it looks like he's turned his ERS off.
No,
but Bottas gang held him.
Everything. That's doing for penalties 6 seconds. He's got the same as Bottas gang, but Vexit will leapfrog him.
Yeah, he will. However, Vexit is really struggling. He's not struggling so much that he's dropping seconds per lap. I mean, there needs to be a massive mistake in order for him to lose out now to Yonti. But Yonti is flying. He's absolutely taking off right now, and that gap is only getting shorter and shorter between him and Copy. And suddenly, Landos Millman is at risk of losing 2 places rather than just the 1. Speaking of, though, he is closing again on Brownie. I think that was another warning. He cut that curb quite a lot. The hard tyres here, 21 lap hold. hard tyres, and they will be 24 when he does finish this Grand Prix. He will have very much burnt the rubber down to its bare minimum, I think. Vexit once more on the back of Bottas gang onto the home straight. Bottas gang is not really putting up a fight anymore. It's just letting Vexit by. And that is Vexit now up into P6. Out of the DRS range there for Yonti though, so that is a bit of a concern for Vexit. Vexit could also get himself into the range of Lando's Milkman if he can continue the pace he's got currently. Because let's just have a quick look at the gap to leader. Vexit is 10.6, Lando's is 6.1, so they're really not that far away. Just a second and a bit more for Vexit to go, and he should be within range. I appear to have lost my co-commentator. Dave, are you alive? Are you muted?
I am alive and well. I'm not sure how I got muted, but I did.
I was wondering why you went silent.
Yeah, sorry. Beaker made a pass on Hazard just behind. Beaker on those mediums. He looks like he's probably going to do a bit of damage on Bottas gang as well. Bottas gang 22 laps he's been on those mediums. He changed on front four. Changed on him on lap 1, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So, Vexit 3 seconds.
Yeah, that is big news for Yonti because it's giving him more of a range to work with. But the likelihood that Vexit's going to get another penalty is not that high. He's gone 25 laps without one. He's only just now got one. I doubt we're going to be seeing another one by the time we get to the end of this GP. But pressure could happen.
I don't want to jinx it, but I will. I think that's our podium settled now, isn't it? With that penalty for Vexit.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless the only way it changes is if Lando's Milkman gets another penalty. That's kind of the only way it's going to flick around. Rainbow's going deep. Oh, he's had a look down the inside. A little bit of a flick towards turn 1, and that kind of scared Hazard. He did lock up the right hand side quite a lot, but they are staying as is for now. Everybody from P2 onwards is within DRS of each other down to P5, and it's not going to be long before we see Vexit in that range too, I think.
Okay, so little update for you. 71% wear on Brownie's rear left tyre.
Oh.
We're not far away from Puncture Town.
Well, 70% I'm told is the start of the puncture zone. Whether or not he's going to get one.
Hard. I think it's 70 for the soft, 75 for the mediums. I think 80 for the hards. I could be wrong there, but I think that's how it works. Lando's Milkman another 3 seconds there penalty.
Yeah, that now brings Vexit back in
the podium. And it does bring Vexit in, but he's not going to be able to leapfrog Copy.
No. But he should be able to secure himself a nice cheeky P4.
It does, I think, actually shoot Lando's Milkman down to P5.
Yeah, it does. It does. That second penalty really has cost him. He could have held on to that P4. But I mean, it's still P5 regardless. It's still pretty damn good going, but yeah, we are starting to see now Lando's Milkman getting a little bit racy. He's looking to get onto Brownie, closed in very quickly. We are now on the final lap, but a mistake there from Lando's Milkman has brought Copy right back onto the gearbox of him. And Yonti's here too. This is going to be a nice little scrap to the end.
Yeah, Brownie's on a Sunday drive right now. He is not interested at all in accelerating, turning, or anything. He does not want to wear those tyres any more than they actually need to be done. He's running out of battery.
I think he's also just trying to remain consistent. He's got no penalties. If he gets one, he loses to Copy.
Yes, and if he gets a rear left puncture, because he's now on 74% wear. So it's going to be close. We're on the final lap.
Copy. Don't do it, Copy. You don't need to do this. Knight to Ascari. He tries to scare Lando's Milkman, and he very much succeeded initially, but Lando's hold that beautifully. Hasn't run out too wide. Yonti is now very much on the back of Copy, though. He's going to go full send. He has to. He's got nothing to lose, but potentially a lot to gain if he gets a penalty issued to one of the drivers ahead, but he's not going to. Chanakinchi will take the win.
Though, but he loses on the exit. Ooh. Just almost from Yonti, but yeah, you're right. Chanakinchi takes that checkered flag. Well, he doesn't. He takes that and runs away with it. And yeah, as I suspected, Copy taking that third place. Vexit did end up jumping Lando's Milkman. Lando's Milkman down to 6th. He was jumped by Rainbow in the end.
Yeah. It was a big sad Hazard having a lot of penalties to his name. Means he falls outside the points altogether. Spicy will cross the line in P13. And Zorro, who's considerably further back, will finish P14.
I did not see that finish sort of 7 laps ago. Bottas
No.
was doing really nicely in 4th. He ends up in 10th. Those hards really did give up towards the end. I think Brownie and Copy managed to get the absolute most out of him. So did Lanzo's Milkman. But the rest of them maybe just taking a little bit too much.
I think I owe somebody an apology, don't I? I think I need to go and apologise to Brownie for doubting him. I said...
Old aggressive man, boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every word under the sun.
He literally pulled the old style Brownie, the Brownie of old. He literally pulled it off. He did exactly as I said he used to be able to do, and now he just went and did it. So yeah, I need to think a formal apology is needed.
Yeah, a bit of a Sergio Perez performance, wasn't it? It was kind of no real sort of extravagant quick driving, but on that hard tyre from the very start, just didn't put a foot wrong, really.
Yeah. I mean, from P12 to P2 is fantastically well done. But here's your rundown at the end of that Grand Prix. Chan, who started in P1, finishes P1 with 0 penalties to his name. Fantastic performance from him. He really deserved the race win. Brownie P2. From P12, I doubted him and I regret it. He's now P2, so well done to him. Copy P3, the Carlos Sainz Award once more. Vexit P4, Rainbow P5, Landos Milman P6. I'm told he might be getting one of his penalties removed, which would put him back to P4, but as he stands, he's currently P6. Yonti P7, Beaker P8, Embassy P9, with Bottasgan getting that final point. Hazard, who had quite a lot of penalties to his name, kind of not living up to his name of old of Captain Consistency. He's now Captain Inconsistent, it appears. There's Fragioko P12, Spicy P13, Zorro P14, and then your DNFers start here. Kagan, Luca, Seb, Dennis, Max, and Danico, all DNF from this session. Danico didn't even get away in towards turn 1.
Fastest lap actually went to Kagan, even though he retired, so that's something, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit of a cherry to the poop that was that race for him. But exactly. we have a very important question to ask. What is your driver of the day?
That is a tough one. I was trying to sort of delay there while I think about it. I don't know. I think it has to be Chan. Superb race. Great idea to flick it in late and go for that undercut, and it gave him 4 seconds. And that was, even taking Vexit's spin out of it, that was the decisive moment in that race. That's what won him the race, I think. So I think it has to be Chan. Perfect pace, perfect strategy.
I would normally agree with you, but I have a 2-part apology to make. So part 1 is giving Brownie the driver of the day, and then part 2 will become the kisses I give him later. But that's it for the European Racing Series Grand Prix here in Monza. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate for you. I've been Ben Rwaggy McConnell. Joining me has been David Fawcetti Time Tate. I appreciate you, sir. You are a lad to commentate with, as always. And I look forward to seeing you next week when we're back for... wait, I could change. Singapore?
Is it Singapore?
Singapore. There you go.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
See, I wasn't even...
Easy slaps.